Hey everyone, and welcome to another Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to dive into today's topic because we're taking on one of the most pervasive and honestly pretty dangerous misconceptions in the whole pet world. We're talking about the myth of the self-cleaning cat. You know the one, right? Cats are so independent they groom themselves, you don't need to do a thing. Well, today we're going to look at the data and the expert consensus to show you exactly why relying on your indoor cat to handle 100% of their own grooming maintenance is actually a recipe for disaster.
So, do cats really clean themselves? I mean, yes, they absolutely lick themselves constantly, but here's the reality check. A cat's tongue is covered in tiny, backwards-facing barbs. When they lick their coat, that barbed tongue pulls all that dead hair directly into their stomach. And sure, while an occasional hairball is totally normal, relying completely on this biological mechanism for a domesticated indoor cat can actually lead to fatal intestinal blockages. And on top of that, if left completely unchecked, their retractable claws will literally grow in a full circle until they embed straight into their own paw pads.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover the self-grooming myth, choosing the right tools, conquering mats and tangles, calming the brush hater, and finally nailing the extras. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1, the self-grooming myth. Let's talk about why your cat really needs your help.
Domesticated indoor cats, and this is especially true for long-haired breeds, simply don't have the rugged outdoor environments that naturally wear down their claws or manage those thick coats. The dangers of zero maintenance are actually really severe. We aren't just talking about your cat looking a bit messy or, leaving extra fur on your couch. Neglecting grooming leads to actual medical emergencies. We're looking at those fatal intestinal blockages from hairballs we just mentioned, agonizing pain from overgrown claws piercing the paw pads, and severe skin infections that breed right underneath neglected, tightly wound mats of fur. This is healthcare, plain and simple.
Moving on to Section 2, choosing the right tools. You've got to match the brush to the fur. To prevent unnecessary stress, you absolutely must match the specific tool to the coat. For short-haired cats, a bristle brush or a grooming glove used just 1 or 2 times a week is perfect. But look over at the long-haired row. Taking a soft bristle brush to a Persian or a Maine Coon is basically useless. For them, you really need a slicker brush and a fine-toothed metal greyhound comb, used 3 to 4 times a week. And you want to pull from the skin outward. Using this specific tool is what prevents that soft undercoat from felting into these solid, painful pelts. Oh, and for curly cats, stick to gentle grooming gloves so you don't disrupt their natural curls. Now, for our flat-faced breeds like Persians, the maintenance goes a step further. Because of their unique facial structure, particularly if you live in a humid climate, daily facial fold cleaning is an absolute must. You have to use a warm, wet cloth to wipe away dust and allergen buildup. If you ignore this, it can literally lead to severe respiratory distress, clogged nostrils, and painful permanent tear stains that just breed skin infections.
Section 3, conquering mats and tangles. Let's look at the scissor-free solution.
The matting menace actually accounts for up to 5% of all veterinary visits. And here's exactly why. It's all about the golden rule of mats. Look at the comparison here between human skin and cat skin. Human skin is thicker, it's firmly attached to us. But a cat's skin, it's incredibly thin and highly elastic. So when you pull a fur mat away from their body, that elastic skin pulls right up inside the knot. Because of this, you must never, ever use household scissors to cut out a knot. First-time owners make this mistake all the time, accidentally slicing their cat's skin wide open and creating a massive emergency risk that requires stitches. So instead of scissors, we use this safe, step-by-step, scissor-free method. First, you hold the fur at the base, right near the skin. This protects the skin from being pulled at all. Step 2 is super vital. Gently separate the strands with your fingers first. Only after you've loosened it up do you move to Step 3, which is using a dematting comb very slowly. And Step 4, never pull from the root. Taking this gentle approach prevents causing those painful micro tears in their delicate skin. Section 4. Calming the brush hater. Let's talk about handling feline anxiety. This is such an excellent analogy from veterinary behaviorists, and it perfectly explains what's happening. Think about it. Imagine a loved one is tickling you. At first, it's kind of fun, right? You're laughing. But then it goes on and on until suddenly it hurts, and you are definitely not having fun anymore. You ask them to stop, and if they don't, you might lash out. Petting aggression isn't your cat being mean. It is sudden overstimulation, caused when we just completely ignore the cat's physical limits. To prevent this from happening, you have to learn to spot their subtle body language cues. A swishing or flicking tail, ears pinned back to the skull, skin twitching along their back, or their bodies suddenly tensing up. These signs indicate that your cat has hit their threshold. They are politely demanding that you stop immediately, long before they feel forced to lash out with a swat or a bite.
And that brings us right to the ultimate veterinary handling mantra: go slow to go fast. What this means is that short, positive micro sessions, and I'm talking just a few seconds of brushing at a time, paired with really high value rewards like tuna treats, will always beat out forced restraint. If you force them, you break the trust. If you go slow, you build it. We can actually implement a really cool technique called consent testing to give the cat total control over the interaction. It's incredibly simple. You just hold your hand 1 to 2 inches from the cat's head, and then you wait. If they actually want to be touched, they'll lean in and close the gap themselves. When they do, stick to petting and grooming the face and head. This directly mimics how friendly felines naturally groom each other's faces, and it keeps their stress levels completely manageable. For highly anxious cats, the towel wrap, sometimes called the burrito technique, is an absolute game changer. It provides them with a secure, hidden feeling. It allows them to feel safe and contained during absolutely necessary grooming or medical procedures without escalating their fear the way grabbing or scruffing would. All right, Section 5, nailing the extras. We're talking claws, seniors, and pros. Let's talk about claws for a second. Nailing the perfect claw trim is actually pretty easy if you follow this setup. Step 1, just wait until the cat is sleepy and relaxed. Step 2, squeeze the paw pad gently to extend that retractable claw. Step 3, closely identify the pink quick inside the nail. That pink area contains the nerves and blood vessels. You absolutely do not want to cut that. Step 4, cleanly snip off only the extremely sharp, translucent curved tip. You also really need to adjust your routine as your cat ages. Keep in mind that as cats enter their senior years, usually around 8 to 10 years old, their joints begin to ache with arthritis and they can slip easily on hard floors. So, trimming their nails becomes totally crucial just for floor traction. Plus, switching to softer bristle brushes over those achy joints and utilizing cat bath wipes when their own self-grooming abilities decline, well, that's a massive quality of life upgrade for a senior cat. All of this builds to a really important realization. There is absolutely no shame in calling a professional groomer or your veterinarian. You should make that call when mats are too tight against the skin to safely remove at home, or when your cat shows severe fear aggression that makes handling them dangerous for both of you, or even if extreme grease buildup requires an actual bath. Professionals have the specialized clippers, the correct restraint tables, and the expertise to handle the whole shebang safely. Which leaves us with this final question to consider. Is your current grooming routine a battleground, or is it a bonding session? Ultimately, by putting down those dangerous household scissors, embracing the exact right tools for your cat's specific coat, and really learning to read and respect your cat's physical boundaries, you can transform what is often a stressful chore into a beautiful act of empathy and trust. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer to demystify the grooming needs of our feline friends. Take these tips, apply them slowly, and I promise you, both you and your cat will be so much happier for it.